Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. I'm actually picking the video up the same exact night that I just finished installing the KWV3 coilovers, and that is because I am going to get the TE37's on the car. If you notice, there's only three. I actually already installed one on the driver rear because I just finished up the suspension and I wanted to throw it on back there just so I can see how it fit and everything in terms of height and all that. We're going to be doing a lot of adjustments and everything once we get the wheels on, but my main goal right now is obviously just to get the wheels on. I'm going to play with the fitment, I'm going to play with the height and all that once we get everything on the car. I kind of want to just see where it's sitting. The rear looks absolutely dumped on these stock OEM 20s. I mean, it's tucking tire, it's pretty crazy, but on the 18, on the Volk, it's actually right on top of the tire. So going down two different sizes, and obviously a different tire, it's crazy how much of a different fit it is. But let's go over the specs real quick because I know a lot of people are going to be asking. These are TE37’s. This is a discontinued model. The color is a satin black finish, flat black finish, whatever you want to call it. The fronts are 18 by 9.5 plus 22, and the rears are 18 by 11 plus 34. The tires are Falken RT660s, 265/35 18 in the fronts and 295/30s in the rear. Now, as for TPMS, I'm running the Huff TPMS. They were about 197 bucks for all four, as opposed to the OEM ones that are like $400 or $500 for all four. Pretty crazy. Got a lot of recommendations to use these. A lot of people have great success with them, so they are in the wheels. Another thing I'm going to be doing is actually cleaning up the hub. I've actually already done it. When I had the wheels off doing the suspension, I did it quickly, but I'm actually going to be painting the hubs black because I'm not running center caps on these. And the hubs in the middle of these are very ugly. They get very rusty and just not a good look. Maybe in the future, depending on if I decide to run center caps, I have to run adapters because TE37's, they do not fit normal center caps. You have to get special adapters for them to fit. But for now, we're going to run them without caps. Not going to worry about that. I'm just going to clean up the center axle nut, get it all painted, make sure it looks nice. I was hoping to have a matte black, but I only have a gloss. But I have found that gloss actually hides things better. Flat usually tends to showcase some of the imperfections and everything, so having a little bit of gloss is not going to hurt. I think it's going to look a little bit better in the long run. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's get these things mounted and see what this thing looks like. All right, guys, so off camera, I actually did the driver's side. So as you can see, there's only two left, and I got two OEM wheels here. So I'll just give you a quick little glimpse of it because there's not really much room to film over here. But it looks awesome and it looks amazing. So I just kind of really wanted to show you on this side since there's way more light and it's kind of easier to kind of show you guys the entire car. But man, oh man, it fits perfectly. Obviously the suspension is still settling. I just installed the suspension pretty much over the last 2 days. So I still need to wait 500 miles or 2 weeks for it to fully settle. So I'm not going to really do too much adjusting yet, but I'm pretty happy with how it fits currently on the other side. Right now it looks absolutely dumped with the OEM 20s, but it's pretty amazing how much better it fits with the TEs on there. So let's go ahead and start on this one. All right, so we got the driver's side wheel off. If you guys are curious at my height, I measured with a caliper just to kind of confirm. I made it like a smidge lower than the driver's side, trying to compensate for my weight in the car. It's honestly not much, not even noticeable by the naked eye, but I just always try to do that. So I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it is on the 9th thread up here. So if you guys are curious where it's sitting, that's where it is. And I tightened down the little set screw over there. So now we are kind of positioned and in place. So now what we're actually going to do, I've actually already polished this one up quite a bit. Still, you can't get in all the cracks and crevices, everything. So what I'm gonna do is cover up the rotor hat, except for the actual hub, cover up the caliper with just a microfiber and do a couple quick coats of spray paint just to kind of clean them up a little bit. And then we can wait for that to dry. I got my heat gun over there to kind of speed it up, and then we can move on to the rear. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry up a little bit. I'm going to take my heat gun and kind of speed up the process. All right, so we got the hub painted. It's not perfect, but my main focus was just getting obviously the inside, because that's what's gonna be shown most, and the inside of here as well. I don't want to get too far and get too crazy. That's not gonna even be seen. Again, I may run center caps, but this is just kind of a temporary thing. It is dry to the touch with my heat gun, so we are good to go to put the Volks on. But before we put a Volk on, I actually want to do some weighing. I want to weigh a front and a rear against a front and a rear OEM, just to kind of see if we're saving any weight. These are obviously much lighter in terms of the actual wheel, but it's a different tire and everything, so I'm just curious. Let's do a non-scientific, kind of loose little weigh comparison here and see what we come up with. All right, so we got an OEM front on the scale here. So let me kind of balance this on here and get the weight. So we're looking at roughly 49.5 pounds. It's kind of bumping up, 49.7. So it's around there, 49.5 pounds, let's just call it. So let's get a front TE and see what we're looking at. All right, so we got a front 9.5 Volk on with a Falcon RT660, 265/35/18. And we're looking at 47, it's kind of going back and forth. It's kind of rolling around, just holding it barely, my finger up here just to make it not roll. But we're looking at around 47.3, 47.2 pounds. So we are saving about 2 pounds for the front. That's actually pretty massive. That's a big weight difference overall with rotational mass. So now let's go ahead and do a rear TE and a rear OEM. All right, so this is the rear OEM 20, and we are looking at, let's see, 50, I'm not even holding on to it. So we're looking at around 52.3 pounds. So I got the massive Volk 11-inch rear with a Falcon 295/30/18 RT660, and we are looking at 50.6. So we're saving over just around 4 pounds, 3.5 pounds, 4 pounds on the rear, which is pretty surprising. This is a massive, massive tire, massive wheel. And the OEM 20s in the rear are 10s. So pretty massive difference. So we're saving overall 2 pounds in the front, 4 pounds, 3.5 pounds in the rear. That is going to definitely be noticeable overall when I'm driving around. So I'm really curious to see with the new suspension as well as the Volks, the car is going to feel like a completely different car. All right, so let's go ahead and finally get the Volk TE37SL on the F80 up front. Oh man, how good does that freaking look? Obviously the suspension has to settle a little bit since it was just jacked up, but it is a little bit lower once it kind of settles and the car moves. But man, oh man, that looks absolutely insane. The fitment is absolutely perfect. If we take a look on the other side as well, it's not much light, but looks insane. So if we take a kind of gander back here, oh, I absolutely love how that looks. My God. All right, let's go ahead and do the rear, get that set up, get the hub painted and everything, and we should be good. I'm definitely going to get some outside shots for you guys. I'm going to drive around a little bit, let the suspension settle, and then kind of show you where we're looking in terms of height. Whew, boy, love that rear. My God, look at that concave. Oh my God, the fitment is ridiculously good. Obviously the car needs to get aligned, and I do need to move the car as I mentioned earlier. The suspension hasn't settled on everything, but right now that is sitting absolutely perfect. It's not over the top. It's not super, super duper low where it's covering the tire. And it's just, oh man, I'm very impressed with my guesstimate all around the car. Honestly, it looks pretty darn even. You're not going to be able to really tell on this side because there's not much light, and it's kind of hard to kind of show, but it is spot on in terms of fitment. And I'm really curious how it's going to turn out after they get the alignment and everything, kind of dial all the camber in and all that. But man, look at this thing. This thing looks incredibly mean. My gosh, I love how the rear looks in person. It just squats so much and it fills out that fender so perfectly. Ugh. And I really do like the little painted hubs there. I think it's a nice look as opposed to the rusty or the silver. It doesn't stand out as much. So we'll see how long that lasts. But man, oh man. All right, I'm going to actually clean all this up. It is about almost 1 in the morning right now. Again, this is my 3rd night in a row staying up out here until after 1. So I'm pretty beat. But let me go ahead. I'm going to clean up the garage, get myself situated, go take a shower, get some sleep and everything. I'll most likely catch up with you guys tomorrow or the next day. We're supposed to get a bunch of rain, so we will see. But I definitely want to take this car out, let the suspension settle, kind of feel everything out. There's a lot of new things going on right now, so I need to make sure. I might get a loss for words right now. I'm obviously talking to you guys, but I'm looking at the car and I'm just, I'm like, all I want to do right now is just not talk and just stare at the car. And I'm kind of losing focus talking to you guys, so sorry about that. But all right, let me clean up. I'm gonna stare at the car for a little bit and just enjoy my efforts of all this work I've done over the last 3 days, getting the suspension on, getting the wheels on, and just, it was a lot of work, but man, seeing the fruits of my labor right now, I can't get over that rear. Oh God, that looks so good. Okay, I will catch back up with you guys in a day or two when the car kind of settles and we're outside and can really take a good look at these wheels. Alright guys, so finally got the car out of the garage and here is the amazing turnout. I am so happy with how everything kind of came together. It honestly looks ridiculous. I know I'm in the shade right now. I'll move over into the sun in a little bit so you guys can see it better, but just the overall fitment, and obviously you guys saw that quick little clip coming out of the driveway. I don't scrape somehow, even though I think it was like 2.5 to 3 inches off the ground. And honestly, I'm just like over the moon with how everything turned out. Car looks perfect, better than I imagined. Again, this is not the best lighting. I'll take it over in the sun in a little bit, but here's a quick look at the rear fitment over here. Go over here. This is probably a little bit better with the shade. See the real fitment on this side and the front right there. Again, I still need to alignment to kind of dial everything in, but it really, for kind of just guessing, not too bad. Here's the driver's side front. I really like how that one's sitting right now. I'm not really sure of the camber. Obviously we'll dial everything in once we go get an alignment at my shop, which is in about 2 weeks. So we'll really get kind of everything dialed in perfectly. But man, oh man, this car is insane. You guys are probably wondering, that's my buddy's Type R over there. You've actually seen that on the channel before. He came by to kind of talk cars and wanted to see the car because he actually got a set of TE37’s as well in bronze. They're actually coming in, so they'll be on his car very, very soon. All right, so let's head into the sun and get some better shots. All right, guys, so here's a little bit better, I guess, better lighting. You can see the fitment over here. Way better. I mean, look at that. Sorry, the wheels are a little dirty. They got the Cheeto dust on there from the brakes. They're a little orange, but you guys get the picture. But the car just, I mean, look at this thing. Absolutely insane. I mean, the front lip, I love the height. I'm like, what did I say, 2.5, 3 inches or so from the ground. But the car just looks phenomenal. And I really can't be happier with how everything went in terms of the install and just the overall quality and fitment of everything. When you plan ahead and kind of hope that whatever project you're building turns out the way that you want it, and then it honestly turns out better than you expected, I honestly don't think I could ask for anything more. It really is just the fruits of your labor and all your hard work, and seeing kind of the vision sitting in front of you is a very rewarding feeling. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed the install of the new Volk TE37’s and the new tires. Huge shout out to Brian from Envision Tuning once again. He was able to get me these wheels super quick. These are a discontinued model, so very hard to come by. Not only did he have them in stock, but he was able to get them to me very quickly. And the tires, I want to shout out my buddy Caesar from Lightworks. He was able to get me these tires super quick as well. I actually went to a shop. I did a whole video on that, actually getting the wheels ready and picking up the tires. So if you're interested, go check out that video. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this one. Plenty more videos to come. I got a lot more to do to this car, and I'm looking forward to showing you guys. So if you guys have any questions at all, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.